Fight fans, look back to Curl Cruiser MMA. My guest getting ready, fighting LFA July 24th. He's taking on Santos Verdinez. He is the 8-2 top prospect. He is sweet, baby. He is Ray Hayes. Ray, what's up, my friend? How are you?
Good, man. Good.
Absolutely. So here we are, fight week. You're going into battle here 3 days from now. When do you start feeling the fight?
Dude, this one in particular has just been crazy. Santos actually pulled out last Wednesday. So all the way up until last night at 9 o'clock, I didn't have a fight. 9 o'clock rolls around, about to call everyone and let them know to just pull their tickets, and uh, my coach manager he found a dude in a group chat on Facebook, one of those like fighter needs. We need a last minute replacement. And one of their coaches texted him. They hooked him up with the LFA promoter and they already had their medicals and everything because they fought not too long ago. So yeah, we got a last minute replacement. So I kind of just rejuvenated my spirits, got me back up. I've been cutting the weight, doing all the right things because they've been saying that they were going to find someone. They've been trying super hard. So we back. We're excited. I'm excited. It's feels like a fight again. I'm locked back in, ready to go.
So this is news to me too. Who's the name? Who do we got?
His last it's Nathan, and his last name's like Trey Pendejo. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. It's a crazy last name. He's been around the sport for a minute. He's 6'9". He fought Adrian Yanez back in the day on LFA, so he's been around. He's fought some pretty tough dudes. Just had a knockout last month for some promotion. So I think he's on a 2-fight win streak in MMA. He kind of went off and did some boxing, so he's just now getting back into MMA. But he's an old vet, yeah.
It's actually crazy, things like this happen. You see so many guys getting opportunities on short notice to fight in the UFC. Does this really reinforce the aspect that you really have to be training year in and year out? There's no off seasons.
Yeah, for sure. That was like, especially like this last card we watched, like Israeli and guys like that just get the call on such short notice, and it was like that. And then I had a good support system of people just staying around, telling me just to stay ready. Don't get off the diet, don't stop the water load, just stay with the same mindset. Like you have a fight. It's super hard to do. When everything just everyone pulls out and it just looks like it's going straight downhill. Just to keep the same mindset. And guys like me and all throughout all the gyms, we got to keep that same mindset. Like we have a fight right around the corner because you never know, when you're 8-2, when you're 9-2, when you're right here on the doorstep, you never know when somebody's gonna pull out or when you need to step up to make that jump. So just staying in shape and staying with that mindset that you always have someone to fight.
Absolutely. There's so many people who watch this sport in this day and age. And I feel like a lot of the casual fans, they look at the Joneses, the McGregors, the DCs, and they see the fame, the fortune, the glory, the girls. When you're battling it out on the regional C, man, you're not making Conor McGregor money. You're staying up late. You're waking up early. Guys have these jobs. It's hard to have a wife. It's hard to have kids. Your eggs are on this basket. Try to get that next level. For you, what's made you want to sacrifice every day to try to make this happen?
I think just to avoid that, 9 to 5 life. I don't want to be caught up in doing that. Just change the life for me. My little family that I got, just move forward and have a better life than what I've been raised around. I've been raised around just hardworking people that clock in, clock out. They start their own businesses or they're just in that blue collar life, and I just don't see myself doing it. I don't want to be around for it. I want to get out of that and be able to just live my life and chase this dream. I see people give up on it way too soon in my family, so I want to be the one that takes it a little further and be different than the rest.
For you, do you find that fighting is more mental than it is physical?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been in there with some dudes that if you put us on a body lifting podium next to each other, they're gonna look better than me. They're gonna outlift me, outperform me. But it's different when you're locked in there and someone wants to hurt you. The mental warfare, the skill set that goes into it. There's a lot more than just the way people look.
You're a guy, very well-rounded fighter already, young in your career here. We've seen some amazing chokes, some amazing grappling. We've also seen some crazy striking. I'm talking about flying knees, some amazing punching. How, for you, has your whole goal been to try to get as well-rounded as possible? Is that the biggest focus?
Yeah, I just want to be dangerous no matter where it goes. You see the ups and downs of like the highest level, like 5 years ago, it was like all grappling, all grappling, 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 and now we're slowly seeing guys like who have big grappling bases getting beat. They're getting drug out in the later rounds, and they can't hold people down no more. So, I think you got to stay up to date with this game. Sometimes the striker's going to be the best, sometimes grappling's going to be the best, and at the end of the day, I think of it as like you can fight anyone at any time. Anyone could walk into my door and try to hurt me tomorrow, and they could be a D1 wrestler, they could be world class kickboxer, and I got to be able to defend myself, defend my family, let alone if I'm signing up to do that willingly against people inside of a cage. I would be dumb not to be able to do it all.
Absolutely. So we're getting ready. Looks like we're taking on Nathan Trepagnier here. You mentioned earlier a bit of a veteran, fought guys like Adrian Yanez, has some boxing experience. Overall, what do you think of him as an opponent here?
I mean, all this tape is super old, so I did go through and I watched some of it. He's just tough, man. And to take a fight on, 3, 4 days notice, when I personally messaged a lot of dudes. I know my coach was messaging people. I know the promoter was trying super hard. So, like, out of all the dudes that tore me down, saying no or had an excuse, this one guy wants to step up, and he's got confidence in himself, and that's something that can't be overlooked. So I'm taking him just as serious as I was Santos. There's no way I'm gonna let a dude come up on 4 days notice thinking he can beat me and walk out there and do it.
Being 8-2, being really close to that next level, obviously making your LFA debut here, getting a finish. Is that on the mind? Do we think about it, or if it happens, it happens?
Yeah, I have nightmares of going to decision, bro. That's the worst possible scenario. That's almost worse than losing sometimes. If it goes to the cards, I just chalk it up as a loss. So we always going out there to get a finish. I don't want to be in there for. I don't even like fighting in the second round. So if we can get out early, that's where we go.
You fought at some wonderful promotions so far, but this is your first one, LFA. Obviously, LFA for years have been known as one of the biggest feeders to the UFC. Is it pretty cool to be on one of the big boy regional promotions now?
Yeah, I train with some guys that have been there. They fought for LFA and stuff, and I've talked to like some of my mentors and stuff, and they all talk about like the lights getting to them. Even at the UFC stage, how the lights get to them and stuff. And I've just kind of just pulled it back to where like at the end of the day, I knew I was gonna get here. I'm supposed to be here. This is what I'm supposed to do. So why make it more than what it is? It's a fist fight at the end of the day. It's just like the last one. It's just like the next one. Win or lose, I'm gonna walk out of there. I'm gonna have a great support system, great friends, great family. I'm gonna have my job on Monday, so it doesn't matter what I do Friday night in there. Everything's gonna go how it goes. It's already written out. God's got a plan for me, and I'm living it through.
In my opinion, the summertime, one of the best times to be a prospect, one of the best times to be a fan of the prospects. Starting in August, there's going to be a television show on Tuesday nights. You might have heard of this Dana White Contender Series. With a win here, you'll be 9-2, possibly another big finish. You thought about possibly maybe that's the next move?
Ah, man, yeah, yeah. That's been in my head, a lot lately. I finally feel confident, like to where I'm watching these guys fight on the Contender Series or the openers on the UFC, and I'm like, I could compete with these guys now. A couple of years ago when I was watching, I was like, there's no way, no way I'm ready. I'm just an early pro. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm like finding holes in guys' games. And I'm like, I could compete with these guys now. So I think it's really any fight now. Like I said earlier, I'm just staying ready, keeping that finishing rate at 100%. That's what the UFC likes. So and just being marketable, being myself. Staying true to the game, and it'll come. I'm only 25, so whether it's one more fight, two more fights, 10 more fights, whatever they want me at, that's what I'll just keep winning. Just keep finishing guys, and at the end of the day, one day I'll be undeniable to them. So.
It looks like you've been doing this as a pro for about 2.5 years here, going into your 11th contest. Is it kind of crazy how much you've accomplished here in just 2.5 years?
Yeah, it's flew by. I was only amateur for like 2 years too, and I had 11 amateur fights. 10 of them in a year. So it's gone by so fast. If that's one thing I didn't understand would happen getting into it. I thought this was gonna consume a big portion of my life. I'm already 25. Most people don't fight past 35, 36. So like we've got 10 more good years, and I'm already probably past halfway of getting to the big show. Let's see hopefully, in my eyes, I want to make sure I take my time, and by the time I get there, it's not a short career in there. I'm in there for the long run. I'm in there to get more contracts, to get re-signed, to work my way up and get ranked versus get in there and figure out I'm in there a little too soon, like you see a lot of guys do. So I think that's been the biggest thing with me and the people around me, just keeping me, humbled enough to know, hey, that is a huge step. Those guys are really good. When I get there, I want to be so sure of everywhere in my fight game that no matter what fight I take in the UFC, I'm ready for it, and I can win. I have the abilities to win, so that way I'm not just in and out. If I was in and out of the UFC, that would be demoralizing almost. Like I've worked this hard. By the time I get there, I want to get there and I want to stay.
And you train at a smaller gym in Missouri, Arsenal Elite. Tell us about those guys, man. What are you guys all about?
Yeah, so we started from a basement of a church. We broke off from another gym. Uh, some just our like training systems didn't collide really. So we broke off from them. We got a few guys together and we just started like a fight team. It wasn't really a gym. We didn't charge. Literally, they would have church service or on some days, late, and we couldn't train there, so we'd have to schedule it around church and stuff. And finally, one of our guys' dads actually went out of pocket, bought us a gym, bought us mats, fully just dove in on us, and just really backed us. So super thankful for him. He really put his neck on the line with us. And since then, we've brought in a kids class, we brought in coaches, we brought in everybody. I probably had like 20 people on the mats tonight training. So we've just grown, and we're super blessed just getting guys in there. We've got a couple pros. We've got so many like brothers in there. My brother. We've got two or three different groups of brothers. Fairly family oriented, but a whole bunch of guys just now getting into it, starting their Emmy careers. A couple guys looking to go pro. We've got a couple pros already. So super super excited for the growth of our team.
What's it being like, for you? A lot of those young guys, those amateurs, they look up to you. I mean, you're an 8-2 professional. The UFC is not a far-fetched thing from you. Is it cool to kind of be like that lead figure at only like 25 years old?
It's surreal. Like this whole time I've had those guys in my life that I've looked up to, and I've asked questions. I still got them. I still DM them. I'll still go and train with them and ask them the questions. And when I come back to my gym and I look at all the amateur guys and I see the way they're waiting for me to answer questions. I'm like, oh shit, I know the answer to these questions now. I can answer these things. I can show people things. It's weird how it switches on you. You go from the guy that doesn't know anything, that's asking questions, that's wanting to be led, to the guy that has some of the answers, that can show people things. And it feels good to give back, for sure.
Absolutely. One thing I love about martial arts is there's so much values to it. There's so many good lessons. I've had so many fighters tell me on this show that when they started, they were on a bad road. MMA turned them to who they are, turned them to the person they are, the father they are, the husband they are. For you, how have you grown involved as a person from martial arts?
Yeah, I started right out of high school. I lost my parents early in my high school career, so throughout my whole high school, I didn't do sports. I was completely unmotivated, inactive, and all that, just because of the tragedy I suffered. And finding martial arts, that was the one thing I was able to dive into. I was able to really put myself into. So super cool. Really, it just gave me something to work for. And again, I think it got me out of the mindset that I was going to work a 9 to 5. That's what I was going to succumb to. So, super thankful for it. Every day it's like therapy. Every day you get on the mats, you get off and you're a better person. So, definitely saved my life, changed my life for sure.
I think you're going to relate with this next one a little bit. There's obviously so many people watching this now. There's a lot of casual fans, and they understand for the most part what's going on. They know you're trying to get into UFC, throwing belts, and all that stuff. Very few people understand that fight outside of the fight, and to me, that's that fight not to clock in at 9 o'clock in the morning, clock out at 5. That's that fight to secure financial freedom. It's that fight to not go by societal norms, have some sort of dream, and chase the life that you want to live. Is this the ultimate reason you're doing this?
Yeah, man. I've got two people that I need to make proud, and they're not here no more. So until I see them, I'm gonna be living this life to make them proud. And that drives me every day. Some people get to come home and they get told, "I'm proud of you. You did good." I don't get that. So every day I'm just burning the wheels until one day I get to hear it. So I got a whole life to make that happen.
What do you think your parents would know if they could see this, be here, and see 8-2, possibly around the next stage of going to the big show?
I always like after big fights, I always sit in the hotel and I like think of like how this fight camp or how that night would go different if they were there. It would be crazy, dude. They would be the loudest people. They would love it. It would be insane. I couldn't imagine what they would be doing if they were here for sure.
For you, man, what's the ultimate goal? What are you looking to accomplish in this sport?
Uh, I want to fight the best people in the world. I want to see that a kid from Eldridge, Missouri, can fight with the best of them. So I want to be ranked in the UFC. Fighting for titles, fighting for enough money to change my life. The money's not the biggest thing to me. Like I figured, I'm not going to be stuck on a 9 to 5. So whatever it is, I'm going to find a way to find financial freedom, whether it be fighting, whether it be real estate, whatever it's going to be, I'm going to find my way out of 9 to 5. So just fighting at that high level, being able to look back on my life and, oh shit, Ray fought fucking the #2 guy in the world at the time at his weight. That's what I want. I want to be able to look back on my life and see that I've done that.
Absolutely. All right, Ray, last question for me, my friend. In a perfect world, what is the outcome Friday night when you make your return to LFA?
Yeah. Perfect world. I think it's a first round knockout. I want to go long enough to show enough in LFA. I don't want to go out there and just smoke them, drop them like I've done in the past. I want it to play out a little bit so I can show off some stuff. I can show LFA. I can show the world like what I got in my tool bag. It's not just a 1-2 and a front headlock choke. I got a lot of stuff that I can start pulling out and dig into my bag. So ideally, I get to show off a little bit, pull out some tricks. Light them up and then put them away early. So.
Absolutely. Well, Ray, man, thank you so much. I know we're just a few days away from the fight, so I really appreciate you taking the time out of the night to do this, and wish you nothing but the best, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. That's it for us today. I'm Carl Prusa. He is Mr. Ray Hayes. You can watch him making his LFA debut Friday night. Fight fans, don't miss this one. It's going to be fun. Take care.